Angelina Jolie was June 4, 1975. She is an American actress, filmmaker, and humanitarian. The recipient of numerous accolades, including an Academy Award, a Tony Award, and 3 Golden Globe Awards, she has been named Hollywood's highest-paid actress multiple times. Jolie made her screen debut as a child alongside her father, Jon Voight, in Lookin' to Get Out, 1982. Her film career began in earnest a decade later with the low-budget production Cyborg 2, 1993, followed by her first leading role in Hackers, 1995. After starring in the television films George Wallace, 1997, and Gia, 1998, Jolie won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for the 1999 drama Girl, Interrupted. Her portrayal of the titular heroine in Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, 2001, established her as a household name. Her fame continued with roles in the action films Mr. and Mrs. Smith, 2005, Wanted, 2008, and Salt, 2010. She also received acclaim for her performances in the dramas A Mighty Heart, 2007, and Changeling, 2008, the latter earning her a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress. Jolie directed and wrote the war dramas In the Land of Blood and Honey, 2011, Unbroken, 2014, and First They Killed My Father, 2017, and produced the musical The Outsiders, 2024, winning the Tony Award for Best Musical. Jolie committed to acting professionally at the age of 16, but initially found it difficult to pass auditions, often being told that her demeanor was too dark. She appeared in 5 of her brother's student films made while he attended the USC School of Cinema Television, as well as in several music videos, such as those for Lenny Kravitz's Stand By My Woman, 1991, Antonello Venditti's Alta Maria, 1991, The Lemonheads' It's About Time, 1993, and Meatloaf's Rock and Roll Dreams Come Through, 1993. In 1993, she appeared on the cover of the Widespread Panic album Every Day. Jolie then learned from her father by noticing his method of observing people to become like them. Their relationship was less strained during this time, with Jolie realizing that they were both drama queens. Jolie started her professional film career in 1993 when she played her first leading role in the direct-to-video science fiction sequel Cyborg 2 as a near-human robot designed for corporate espionage and assassination. She was so disappointed with the film that she did not audition again for a year. Following a supporting role in the independent film Without Evidence, 1995, she starred in her first major studio film, Hackers, 1995. The New York Times critic Janet Maslin wrote that Jolie's character stands out because she scowls even more sourly than her co-stars and is that rare female hacker who sits intently at her keyboard in a see-through top. Hackers failed to make a profit at the box office, but developed a cult following after its video release. The role in Hackers is considered Jolie's breakthrough. After starring in the modern-day Romeo and Juliet adaptation Love Is All There Is, 1996, Jolie appeared in the road movie Mojave Moon, 1996. In Foxfire, 1996, she played Legs, a drifter who unites 4 teenage girls against a teacher who has sexually harassed them. Jack Matthews of the Los Angeles Times wrote of her performance, "It took a lot of hogwash to develop this character, but Jolie, Jon Voight's knockout daughter, has the presence to overcome the stereotype." Though the story is narrated by Maddie, Legs is the subject and the catalyst. In 1997, Jolie starred with David Duchovny in the thriller Playing God, set in the Los Angeles underworld. The film was not well received by critics. Chicago Sun-Times critic Roger Ebert wrote that Jolie finds a certain warmth in a kind of role that is usually hard and aggressive. She seems too nice to be a mobster's girlfriend, and maybe she is. Her next work, as a frontierswoman in the CBS miniseries True Women, 1997, was even less successful. Writing for the Philadelphia Inquirer, Robert Strauss dismissed her as horrid, a fourth-rate Scarlett O'Hara who relies on gnashed teeth and overly pouted lips. Jolie also starred in the music video for the Rolling Stones' Anybody Seen My Baby? As a stripper who leaves mid-performance to wander New York City. Jolie's career prospects improved after she won a Golden Globe Award for her performance in TNT's George Wallace, 1997, a film about segregationist Alabama governor and presidential candidate George Wallace, played by Gary Sinise. Jolie portrayed Wallace's second wife, Cornelia Wallace, a performance Lee Winfrey of the Philadelphia Inquirer considered a highlight of the film. George Wallace was well received by critics, and Jolie received a nomination for a Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Supporting Actress in a miniseries or a movie for her performance. Jolie portrayed supermodel Gia Karangi in HBO's Gia, 1998. The television film chronicles the destruction of Karangi's life and career as a result of her addiction to heroin and her decline and death from AIDS in the mid-1980s. Vanessa Vance of Real.com retrospectively noted, Jolie gained wide recognition for her role as the titular Gia, and it's easy to see why. Jolie is fierce in her portrayal, filling the part with nerve, charm, and desperation. And her role in this film is quite possibly the most beautiful train wreck ever filmed. For the second consecutive year, Jolie won a Golden Globe Award and received an Emmy Award nomination. She also won her first Screen Actors Guild Award. In accordance with Lee Strasberg's method acting, Jolie preferred to stay in character in between scenes during many of her early films. While shooting Gia, she told her husband, Johnny Lee Miller, that she would not be able to phone him. "I'd tell him, I'm alone. I'm dying. I'm gay. I'm not going to see you for weeks." After Gia wrapped, she briefly gave up acting because she felt that she had nothing else to give. She separated from Miller and moved to New York, where she took night classes at New York University to study directing and screenwriting. Encouraged by her Golden Globe Award win for George Wallace and the positive critical reception of Gia, Jolie resumed her career. Following the previously filmed gangster film Hell's Kitchen, 1998, Jolie returned to the screen in Playing by Heart, 1998, part of an ensemble cast that included Sean Connery, Gillian Anderson, and Ryan Phillip. The film received predominantly positive reviews, and Jolie was praised in particular. San Francisco Chronicle critic Peter Stack wrote, Jolie, working through an overwritten part, is a sensation as the desperate club crawler learning truths about what she's willing to gamble. She won the Breakthrough Performance Award from the National Board of Review. In 1999, Jolie starred in the comedy drama Pushing Tin, alongside John Cusack, Billy Bob Thornton, and Cate Blanchett. The film met with mixed reception from critics, and Jolie's character, Thornton's seductive wife, was particularly criticized. Writing for the Washington Post, Dessen had dismissed her as a completely ludicrous writer's creation of a free-spirited woman who weeps over hibiscus plants that die, wears lots of turquoise rings, and gets real lonely when Russell spends entire nights away from home. Jolie then co-starred with Denzel Washington in The Bone Collector, 1999, playing a police officer who reluctantly helps Washington's quadriplegic detective track down a serial killer. The film grossed $151.5 million worldwide, but was critically unsuccessful. Terry Lawson of the Detroit Free Press concluded, Jolie, while always delicious to look at, is simply and woefully miscast. Jolie next took the supporting role of Lisa, a sociopathic patient in a psychiatric hospital, in Girl, Interrupted, 1999, an adaptation of Susanna Kayson's 1993 memoir. For Variety, Emmanuel Levy deemed her excellent as the flamboyant, irresponsible girl who turns out to be far more instrumental than the doctors in Susanna's rehabilitation. Jolie won the Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actress, Motion Picture, the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Supporting Role, and the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for her performance in the film. In 2000, Jolie appeared in her first summer blockbuster, Gone in 60 Seconds, which became her highest-grossing film to that point, earning $237.2 million internationally. She had a minor role as the mechanic ex-girlfriend of a car thief played by Nicolas Cage. The Washington Post writer Stephen Hunter criticized that all she does in this movie is stand around, cooling down, modeling those fleshy, pulsating muscle tubes that nest so provocatively around her teeth. Jolie later explained that the film had been a welcome relief after her emotionally demanding role in Girl, Interrupted. Although widely praised for her acting and performances, Jolie had rarely found films that appealed to a wide audience, but 2001's Lara Croft, Tomb Raider made her an international superstar. An adaptation of the popular Tomb Raider video games, The film required her to learn an English accent and undergo extensive martial arts training to play the archaeologist adventurer Lara Croft. Although the film generated mostly negative reviews, Jolie was generally praised for her physical performance. Newsday's John Anderson commented, "Jolie makes the title character a virtual icon of female competence and cult." The film was an international hit, earning $274.7 million worldwide, and launched her global reputation as a female action star. Jolie next starred opposite Antonio Banderas as his mail-order bride in Original Sin, 2001, the first of a string of films that were poorly received by critics and audiences alike. The New York Times critic Elvis Mitchell questioned Jolie's decision to follow her Oscar-winning performance with softcore nonsense. The Romantic Comedy Life, or Something Like It, 2002, though equally unsuccessful, marked an unusual choice for Jolie. Salon magazine's Alan Barra considered her ambitious newscaster character a rare attempt at playing a conventional women's role, noting that her performance doesn't get off the ground until a scene where she goes punk and leads a group of striking bus workers in singing Satisfaction. Despite her lack of box office success, Jolie remained in demand as an actress. In 2002, she established herself among Hollywood's highest-paid actresses, earning $10 to $15 million per film for the next 5 years. Jolie reprised her role as Lara Croft in Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, 2003, which was not as lucrative as the original, earning $156.5 million at the international box office. She also starred in the music video for Korn's Did My Time, which was used to promote the sequel. Her next film was Beyond Borders, 2003, in which she portrayed a socialite who joins an aid worker played by Clive Owen. Though unsuccessful with audiences, the film stands as the first of several passion projects Jolie has made to bring attention to humanitarian causes. Beyond Borders was a critical failure. Kenneth Turan of the Los Angeles Times acknowledged Jolie's ability to bring electricity and believability to roles, but wrote that the limbo of a hybrid character, a badly written cardboard person in a fly-infested, blood-and-guts world, completely defeats her. In 2004, Jolie appeared in 4 films. She first starred in the thriller Taking Lives as an FBI profiler summoned to help Montreal law enforcement hunt down a serial killer. The film received mixed reviews. The Hollywood Reporter critic Kirk Honeycutt concluded, "Jolie plays a role that definitely feels like something she's already done, but she does add an unmistakable dash of excitement and glamour." Jolie made a brief appearance as a fighter pilot in Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, a science fiction adventure shot entirely with actors in front of a blue screen, and voiced her first family film, the DreamWorks animation Shark Tale. Her supporting role as Queen Olympias in Oliver Stone's Alexander, about Alexander the Great, was met with mixed reception, particularly concerning her Slavic accent. Commercially, the film failed in North America, which Stone attributed to disapproval of the depiction of Alexander's bisexuality, but it succeeded internationally, grossing $167.3 million. In 2005, Jolie returned to major box office success with the action comedy Mr. and Mrs. Smith, in which she starred opposite Brad Pitt as a bored married couple who find out that they are both secret assassins. The film received mixed reviews, but was generally lauded for the chemistry between the two leads. Star Tribune critic Colin Cover noted, "While the story feels haphazard, the movie gets by on gregarious charm, galloping energy, and the stars' thermonuclear screen chemistry." With box office takings of $478.2 million worldwide, Mr. and Mrs. Smith was the 7th highest grossing picture of the year and remained Jolie's highest grossing live-action film for the next decade. Following a supporting role as the neglected wife of a CIA officer in Robert De Niro's The Good Shepherd, 2006, Jolie starred as Marion Pearl in the documentary-style drama A Mighty Heart, 2007. Based on Pearl's 2003 memoir, the film chronicles the kidnapping and murder of her husband, the Wall Street Journal reporter Daniel Pearl, in Pakistan. Although the multiracial Pearl had personally chosen Jolie for the role, the casting drew racial criticism and accusations of blackface. The resulting performance was widely praised. Ray Bennett of The Hollywood Reporter described it as well-measured and moving, played with respect and a firm grasp on a difficult accent. She received nominations for the Golden Globe Award and the Screen Actors Guild Award. Jolie also played Grendel's mother in the epic Beowulf, 2007, created through motion capture. The film was critically and commercially well received, earning $196.4 million worldwide. In 2008, Jolie was the highest paid actress, earning $15 to $20 million per film, 69, while other actresses had taken salary cuts during the time. Jolie's perceived box office appeal allowed her to command as much as $20 million plus a percentage. She starred alongside James McAvoy and Morgan Freeman in the action film Wanted, 2008, which proved an international success, earning $341.4 million worldwide. The film received predominantly favorable reviews. Writing for the New York Times, Manohla Dargis noted that Jolie was perfectly cast as a super scary, seemingly amoral assassin, adding that she cuts the kind of disciplinarian figure who can bring boys of all ages to their knees, or at least into their theater seats. Jolie next took the lead role in Clint Eastwood's drama Changeling, 2008. Chicago Tribune critic Michael Phillips noted, Jolie really shines in the calm before the storm. The scenes when one patronizing male authority figure after another belittles her at their peril. She received nominations for a Golden Globe Award, a Screen Actors Guild Award, the BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role, and the Academy Award for Best Actress. Jolie also voiced Tigress in the DreamWorks Kung Fu Panda film series. After her mother's death in 2007, Jolie appeared in fewer films, later explaining that her motivation to be an actress had stemmed from her mother's acting ambitions. Her first film in 2 years was the 2010 thriller Salt, in which she starred as a CIA agent who goes on the run after she is accused of being a KGB sleeper agent. Originally written as a male character with Tom Cruise attached to star, Agent Salt underwent a gender change after a Columbia Pictures executive suggested Jolie for the role. With revenues of $293.5 million, Salt became an international success. The film received generally positive reviews, with Jolie's performance in particular earning praise. Empire critic William Thomas remarked, "When it comes to selling incredible, crazy, death-defying antics, Jolie has few peers in the action business." Jolie starred opposite Johnny Depp in the thriller The Tourist, 2010. The film was a critical failure. Roger Ebert defended Jolie's performance, stating that she does her darndest and plays her femme fatale with flat-out, drop-dead sexuality. Despite commercially underperforming in the US, the film succeeded at the international box office, cementing Jolie's appeal to international audiences. She received a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress in a Motion Picture, Comedy, or Musical nomination for her performance, which prompted speculation that it had been given merely to ensure her high-profile presence at the award ceremony. After directing the documentary A Place in Time, 2007, which was distributed through the National Education Association, Jolie made her feature directorial debut within the Land of Blood and Honey, 2011. A love story between a Serb soldier and a Bosniak prisoner, set during the 1992-95 Bosnian War. She conceived the film to rekindle attention for the survivors after twice visiting Bosnia and Herzegovina in her role as a UNHCR Goodwill Ambassador. To ensure authenticity, she cast only actors from the former Yugoslavia, including stars Goran Kostic and Zana Marjanovic, and incorporated their wartime experiences into her screenplay. Upon release, the film received mixed reviews. Todd McCarthy of The Hollywood Reporter wrote, "Jolie deserves significant credit for creating such a powerfully oppressive atmosphere and staging the ghastly events so credibly, even if it is these very strengths that will make people not want to watch what's on screen." The film was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Foreign Language Film, and Jolie was named an honorary citizen of Sarajevo for raising awareness of the war. After a 3.5-year absence from the screen, Jolie starred in Maleficent, 2014, a live-action reimagining of Disney's 1959 animation Sleeping Beauty. Critical reception was mixed, but Jolie's performance in the titular role was singled out for praise. The Hollywood Reporter critic Sherry Linden found her to be the heart and soul of the film, adding that she doesn't chew the estimable scenery in Maleficent. She infuses it, wielding a magnetic and effortless power. In its opening weekend, Maleficent earned nearly $70 million at the North American box office and over $100 million in other markets, marking Jolie's appeal to audiences of all demographics in both action and fantasy films, genres usually dominated by male actors. The film went on to gross $757.8 million worldwide, becoming the fourth highest-grossing film of the year and Jolie's highest-grossing film ever. Jolie next completed her second directorial venture, Unbroken, 2014, a film about Louis Zamperini, 1917 to 2014, a former Olympic track star and World War II soldier who survived a plane crash and spent 2 years in a Japanese prisoner of war camp. She also served as producer under her Jolie Pa banner. Based on Laura Hillenbrand's book Unbroken, a World War II story of survival, resilience, and redemption, the film was scripted by the Coen brothers and starred Jack O'Connell. After a positive early reception, Unbroken was considered a likely Best Picture and Best Director contender, but it ultimately received mixed reviews and little award recognition, though it was named one of the best films of the year by the National Board of Review and the American Film Institute. Variety magazine's Justin Chong noted the film's impeccable craftsmanship and sober restraint, but deemed it an extraordinary story told in dutiful, unexceptional terms. Financially, Unbroken was successful at the box office worldwide. Jolie's next directorial effort was the marital drama By the Sea, 2015, in which she starred opposite her husband, Brad Pitt, marking their first collaboration since 2005's Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Based on her screenplay, the film was a deeply personal project for Jolie, who drew inspiration from her own mother's life. The critics, however, dismissed it as a vanity project as part of an overall poor reception. Writing for the Washington Post, Stephanie Mary noted its dearth of genuine emotion, stating, "By the Sea is dazzlingly gorgeous, as are its stars. But peeling back layer upon layer of exquisite ennui reveals nothing but emptiness, sprinkled with stilted sentiments." Despite starring two of Hollywood's leading actors, the film received only a limited release. As Jolie preferred to dedicate herself to her humanitarian work, her cinematic output remained infrequent. First, They Killed My Father, 2017, a drama set during Cambodia's Khmer Rouge era, again enabled her to combine both interests. In addition to directing the film, she co-wrote the screenplay with her longtime friend Lung Ung, whose memoirs about the regime's child labor camps served as its source material. Intended primarily for a Cambodian audience, the film was produced directly for Netflix, which allowed for the use of an exclusively Khmer cast and script. Labeling Jolie as a skilled and sensitive filmmaker, Rafer Guzman of Newsday commended her for convincingly depicting the illogical hell of the Khmer Rouge era. It received nominations for the Golden Globe Award for Best Foreign Language Film and BAFTA Award for Best Film Not in the English Language. Jolie reprised the role of Maleficent in the Disney fantasy sequel Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, 2019, which received mixed reviews from critics but performed moderately well commercially, with a global gross of $490 million. The following year, she appeared alongside David Oyelowo as grieving parents to the title characters of Alice in Wonderland and Peter Pan in the fantasy film Come Away. Jolie starred as a smoke jumper in Taylor Sheridan's action thriller Those Who Wish Me Dead. The film was released in May 2021, garnering moderate reviews. The Independent's Clarice Lowry wrote Jolie's bare-knuckled performance easily outclasses the film that contains it. Jolie next played Thena, a warrior with post-traumatic stress disorder, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe superhero film Eternals. Released in November 2021, the film generated divergent responses from audiences and critics. Reviewing the film for the Washington Post, and Hornaday highlighted the touching naivete in Jolie's portrayal. Jolie was a producer on the musical The Outsiders after it transferred to Broadway in 2024 and won the Tony Award for Best Musical. She starred in Pablo Larraín's biographical film about opera singer Maria Callas, titled Maria, which premiered at the 81st Venice International Film Festival. Jolie also wrote, produced, and directed the 2024 war drama Without Blood, based on the novel by Alessandro Baricco, starring Salma Hayek and Damien Beecher. About Jolie's personal life, she had a serious boyfriend for 2 years from the age of 14. Her mother allowed them to live together in her home, of which Jolie later said, "I was either going to be reckless on the streets with my boyfriend, or he was going to be with me in my bedroom with my mom in the next room. She made the choice, and because of it, I continued to go to school every morning and explored my first relationship in a safe way." She has compared the relationship to a marriage in its emotional intensity and said that the breakup compelled her to dedicate herself to her acting career at age 16. During filming of Hackers 1995, Jolie had a romance with actor Johnny Lee Miller, her first lover since the relationship in her early teens. They were not in touch for months after production ended, but eventually reconnected and married soon after in March 1996. She attended her wedding in black rubber pants and a white t-shirt, upon which she had written the groom's name in her blood. The relationship ended the following year, with Jolie saying her busy work schedule kept them apart too often. Jolie remained on good terms with Miller, whom she called a solid man and a solid friend. Their divorce, initiated by Jolie in February 1999, was finalized shortly before she remarried the next year. Prior to her marriage to Miller, Jolie began a relationship with model and actress Jenny Shimizu on the set of Foxfire, 1996. In 1997, she said, "I would probably have married Jenny if I hadn't married my husband. I fell in love with her the first second I saw her." According to Shimizu, their relationship lasted several years and continued even while Jolie was romantically involved with other people. In a 1997 interview with a lesbian magazine Girlfriends, she was asked how she felt about being a sex symbol to both men and women. She responded, "It's great because I love men and women." In 2003, when asked if she was bisexual, Jolie answered, "Of course. If I fell in love with a woman tomorrow, would I feel that it's okay to want to kiss and touch her? If I fell in love with her? Absolutely. Yes." After a 2-month courtship, Jolie married actor Billy Bob Thornton on May 5, 2000, in Las Vegas. They had met on the set of Pushing Tin, 1999, but did not pursue a relationship at that time, as Thornton was engaged to actress Laura Dern, while Jolie was reportedly dating actor Timothy Hutton, her co-star in Playing God, 1997. As a result of their frequent public declarations of passion and gestures of love, most famously wearing one another's blood in vials around their necks, their marriage became a favorite topic of the entertainment media. Jolie and Thornton announced the adoption of a child from Cambodia in March 2002, but abruptly separated 3 months later. Thornton filed for divorce, saying their lifestyles were too different. Their divorce was finalized on May 27, 2003. When asked about the sudden dissolution of their marriage, Jolie stated, "It took me by surprise, too, because overnight, we totally changed. I think one day we had just nothing in common. And it's scary, but I think it can happen when you get involved and you don't know yourself yet." Jolie was involved in a prominent scandal when she was accused of causing the divorce of actors Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston in October 2005. She said she fell in love with Pitt during the filming of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, 2005, but dismissed allegations of an affair, saying, "To be intimate with a married man when my own father cheated on my mother is not something I could forgive. I could not look at myself in the morning if I did that. I wouldn't be attracted to a man who would cheat on his wife." Neither Jolie nor Pitt would publicly comment on the nature of their relationship until January 2006, when she confirmed they were expecting their first child together. During their 12-year relationship, the couple were dubbed Brangelina, a portmanteau coined by the media, and were the subject of worldwide media coverage. They became known as one of Hollywood's most glamorous couples. Their family grew to include 6 children, 3 of whom were adopted, before they announced their engagement in April 2012. Jolie and Pitt were legally married on August 14, 2014, and had their wedding in a private ceremony at the Chateau Miraval, France on August 23, 2014. She subsequently took the name Angelina Jolie Pitt. After 2 years of marriage, the couple separated on September 15, 2016. On September 19th, Jolie filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. They were declared legally single on April 12, 2019. After Pitt sued Jolie for selling her share of a winery they owned to a third party, she filed a countersuit, in which she alleged that he physically and verbally abused her and their children on a plane in 2016. Jolie's children are Maddox Chi Van Jolie Pitt, born August 5, 2001, age 23, in Cambodia. Adopted March 10, 2002, by Jolie. Adopted early 2006 by Pitt. Zahara Marley Jolie Pitt, born January 8, 2005, age 19, in Awassa, Ethiopia. Adopted July 6, 2005, by Jolie. Adopted early 2006 by Pitt. Shiloh Nouvel Jolie Pitt, born May 27, 2006, age 18, in Swakopmund, Namibia. Pax Tien Jolie Pitt, born November 29, 2003, age 20, in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Adopted March 15, 2007, by Jolie. Adopted February 21, 2008, by Pitt. Knox Lyon Jolie Pitt, born July 12, 2008, age 16, in Nice, France. Vivian Marc-Helen Jolie Pitt, born July 12, 2008, age 16, in Nice, France. Jolie has 6 children. 3 were adopted internationally, while 3 are biological. On March 10, 2002, Jolie adopted her first child, 7-month-old Maddox Chi Van, from an orphanage in Battambang, Cambodia. He was born on August 5, 2001, in a local village. After twice visiting Cambodia, while filming Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, 2001, and on a UNHCR field mission, Jolie returned in November 2001 with her then-husband, Billy Bob Thornton, where they met and subsequently applied to adopt Maddox. The adoption process was halted the following month when the U.S. government banned adoptions from Cambodia amid allegations of child trafficking. Although Jolie's adoption facilitator was later convicted of visa fraud and money laundering, her adoption of Maddox was deemed lawful. Once the process was finalized, she took custody of Maddox in Namibia, where she was filming Beyond Borders, 2003. Jolie and Thornton announced the adoption together, but she adopted Maddox alone, becoming a single parent following her separation from Thornton 3 months later. Jolie adopted her second child, 6-month-old Zahara Marley, from an orphanage in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, on July 6, 2005. Zahara was born on January 8, 2005, in Awassa. Jolie initially believed Zahara to be an AIDS orphan, based on official testimony from her grandmother, but Zahara's birth mother later came forward in the media. She explained that she had abandoned her family when Zahara became sick and said she thought Zahara was very fortunate to have been adopted by Jolie. Jolie was accompanied by her then-partner, Brad Pitt, when she traveled to Ethiopia to take custody of Zahara. She later indicated that they had together made the decision to adopt from Ethiopia, having first visited the country earlier that year. After Pitt announced his intention to adopt her children, she filed a petition to legally change their surname from Jolie to Jolie Pitt, which was granted on January 19, 2006. Pitt adopted Maddox and Zahara soon after. In an attempt to avoid the unprecedented media frenzy surrounding their relationship, Jolie and Pitt traveled to Namibia for the birth of their first biological child. On May 27, 2006, she gave birth to Shiloh Nouvel in Swakopmund. Shiloh's middle name is homage to French architect Jean Nouvel. During labor, Jolie had fits of hysteric laughter due to the administration of morphine. They sold the first pictures of Shiloh through the distributor Getty Images with the aim of benefiting charity, rather than allowing paparazzi to take the photographs. People and Hello magazines purchased the North American and British rights to the images for $4.1 and $3.5 million, respectively, a record in celebrity photojournalism at that time, with all proceeds donated to UNICEF. On March 15, 2007, Jolie adopted her fourth child, 3-year-old Pax Tien, from an orphanage in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Pax was born on November 29, 2003, in HCMC, and was abandoned soon after birth. After visiting the orphanage with Pitt in November 2006, Jolie applied for adoption as a single parent because Vietnam's adoption regulations do not allow unmarried couples to co-adopt. After their return to the United States, She petitioned the court to change Pac Tien's surname from Jolie to Jolie Pitt, which was approved on May 31st. Pitt subsequently adopted Pax on February 21, 2008. At the 2008 Cannes Film Festival, Jolie confirmed that she was expecting twins. For the 2 weeks she spent in a seaside hospital in Nice, France, reporters and photographers camped outside on the promenade. She gave birth to twins Knox Lyon and Vivian Markellen on July 12, 2008. Knox Lyon was named after two of the twins' ancestors, and Vivian Markellen was named in honor of Jolie's mother. The first pictures of Knox and Vivian were jointly sold to People and Hello for a reported $14 million, the most expensive celebrity photographs ever taken. All proceeds were donated to the Jolie Pitt Foundation. On February 16, 2013, at age 37, Jolie underwent a preventive double mastectomy after learning she had an 87% risk of developing breast cancer due to a defective BRCA1 gene. Her maternal family history warranted genetic testing for BRCA mutations. Her mother had breast cancer and died of ovarian cancer, while her grandmother died of ovarian cancer. Her aunt, who had the same BRCA1 defect, died of breast cancer 3 months after Jolie's operation. Following the mastectomy, which lowered her chances of developing breast cancer to under 5%, Jolie had reconstructive surgery involving implants and allografts, transplantations from a donor. 2 years later, in March 2015, after annual test results indicated possible signs of early ovarian cancer, she underwent a preventive salpingo-oophorectomy, removal of an ovary and its fallopian tube, as she had a 50% risk of developing ovarian cancer due to the same genetic anomaly. Despite hormone replacement therapy, the surgery brought on premature menopause. After completing each operation, Jolie discussed her mastectomy and oophorectomy in op-eds published by the New York Times, with the aim of helping other women make informed health choices. She detailed her diagnosis, surgeries, and personal experiences, and described her decision to undergo preventive surgery as a proactive measure for the sake of her 6 children. Jolie further wrote, "On a personal note, I do not feel any less of a woman. I feel empowered that I made a strong choice that in no way diminishes my femininity." Jolie's announcement of her mastectomy attracted widespread publicity and discussion on BRCA mutations and genetic testing. Her decision was met with praise from various public figures, while health campaigners welcomed her raising awareness of the options available to at-risk women. Dubbed the Angelina Effect by a Time cover story, Jolie's influence led to a global and long-lasting increase in BRCA gene testing. The number of referrals tripled in Australia and doubled in the United Kingdom, parts of Canada and India, as well as significantly increased in other European countries and the United States. Researchers in Canada and the United Kingdom found that despite the large increase, the percentage of mutation carriers remained the same, meaning Jolie's message had reached those most at risk. In her first op-ed, Jolie had advocated for wider accessibility of BRCA gene testing and acknowledged the high costs, which were greatly reduced after a 2013 U.S. Supreme Court ruling invalidated BRCA gene patents held by Myriad Genetics. Jolie has appeared in over 30 film productions since 1982. According to the review aggregator site Rotten Tomatoes and infotainment website Screen Rant, her most critically acclaimed and commercially successful films are Playing by Heart, 1998, Gone in 60 Seconds, 2000, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, 2001, Lara Croft, Tomb Raider, The Cradle of Life, 2003, Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, 2004, Alexander, 2004, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, 2005, Beowulf, 2007, A Mighty Heart, 2007, Changeling, 2008, Kung Fu Panda, 2008, Wanted, 2008, Salt, 2010, The Tourist, 2010, Maleficent, 2014, and Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, 2019. Her television projects comprise the miniseries True Women, 1997, and the films George Wallace, 1997, and Gia, 1998. Jolie has directed a number of films, such as In the Land of Blood and Honey, 2011, Unbroken, 2014, By the Sea, 2015, and First They Killed My Father, 2017. Her producing and executive producing credits include In the Land of Blood and Honey, 2011, Unbroken, 2014, Maleficent, 2014, First They Killed My Father, 2017, and Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, 2019. Jolie served as a screenwriter for In the Land of Blood and Honey, 2011, By the Sea, 2015, and First They Killed My Father, 2017. Jolie has received several awards including an Academy Award, 3 Golden Globe Awards, 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards and a Tony Award, as well as nominations for 2 British Academy Film Awards and 2 Primetime Emmy Awards. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences honored her with the Jean Hersholt Humanitarian Award in 2013. What is your thoughts? Share your honest thought with us in comment section. If you liked the video, share it with your family and friends. For more updates, stay with T Online.